Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on February 28th, 2024. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update, as well as a look at earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Always starting out here, looking at our sun for the past 48 hours, brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory, mixed here with daily events worldwide, still observing 7 sunspot regions, and 4 of them lined straight up on an Earth-facing view. Let's have a look at the last 48 hours incoming. This is cresting into view. Do have a pretty big sunspot rolling in. Outgoing imagery here. We did have a small CME detected. No major CMEs thwarted our way, but we did see an M-class solar flare. Having a look here at the last 48 hours of imagery with multi-spectrum, pointing out the last 48 hours of events. And the most recent long-duration M-class solar flare came from the top right-hand region, which is the same region that produced the X-class solar flares. Also observing coronal holes. Looking at our sun and another light here with those 5 sunspot regions straight up the Earth-facing sun right now. And as well on the right-hand side, that large sunspot region that produced X and M-class solar flares last week. I want to thank you all for joining the channel. Thanks so much for subscribing, taking time out of your day to stay aware and prepared. Amazing images here of 7 sunspot regions. Another quick look here at those sunspot regions in fluid motion. A little time lapse for you. Current space weather conditions, we are under R1, level 1 radio blackout impacts expected from the most recent long duration minor M-class solar flare. Solar winds right now are coming in at 454 kilometers per second. That's right, per second, my friends and family. Solar X-ray flux, as you can see, up into the minor M range. Been spiking with a C, and as well, another anomaly, 2 days in a row. Geomagnetic activity sitting at KP2. Looking at the space weather prediction spiral here. No major new CMEs. You can see a couple small CMEs heading away from us or beside us, but nothing thwarted our way. ISWA showing the same thing, just a minor CME taking off from the cresting area of sunspots. And that was most likely from the M-class, most recent minor M-class solar flare. Now let's have a look at LASCO 3, showing a wide spectrum of all the space weather events. This is showing the last 7 days, as Mercury has been going in transition, going around the backside of the sun for a retrograde with Mars, as Mars is on the other side of the sun right now. Showing here the last 7 days of coronal mass ejections from our sun. And we did most recently just have one from the M-class solar flare right there, big guy. There is Mercury as it's coming in transition. And then the CMEs start. And then just recent in the last few images, pretty sizable CME coming off from the northern region. Amazing stuff. Let's have a look at our magnetosphere, see how that's holding out, showing our pressure planes. Quite a bit of pressure on the backside, the dark side of our planet right now, and as well a small bow shock being observed here as our solar winds are pounding our planet at 454 kilometers per second. Now let's get to earthquakes. That's right. Rumblers from around the world. We're going to start out here with a pretty rare earthquake, Macquarie Island, 5.4 earthquake, south of the Australian plate, 10-kilometer depth. That was reported today, and as well another one in New Zealand, Marebank. As well another deep earthquake, Levuka, Fiji, 547-kilometer depth. Saw 620 yesterday. And then Vanuatu region, very deep earthquake, 611-kilometer depth. So definitely something popping off here and ready for a larger magnitude earthquake. Heads up, my friends and family, just that's what this is all about. Hashtag no fear here. Notable activity moving up into the Indian plate. 4.6 there, Carlsberg Ridge from yesterday. Notable earthquakes through the Marianas Trench. Pretty deep there, that 4.5. And then our largest earthquake today, a 5.5 earthquake, Adak, Alaska. 113-kilometer depth. And increased minor seismicity has been swinging straight across the Aleutian Islands. Not much to report across the North American plate right now. Still minor activity through Idaho after that 4.4, Smiths Ferry, Idaho. Largest cross North American soil being a 3.7 towards the Gulf of California, Mexico-California border. Hawaii, largest through the region being a 3.1 at Pahala, though. Colombia seeing some activity as well, 4.6 around some very active volcanoes through the region, producing a lot of SO2, sulfur dioxide emissions. South America activity coming back, Argentina 4.7 there. And not much to report across the African or European plate. That 4.5 was from yesterday. Now let's have a glance at the last 7 days for shakers around the world. And I also want to take a quick moment to thank you all for watching yet again, and much love. I appreciate all of the support and love for this channel, the awareness of the earthly changes that are going on in regards to earthquakes, volcanoes, world weather. We had some pretty wild weather, man. Roller coaster of temperatures all across our world right now. And earthquakes, very deep earthquakes. So heads up, something big is coming. Largest we've seen this week is a 6.3, the Nazca Plate. Something is brewing towards Alaska, the Cascades. So heads up. Now let's have a look at the SO2 forecast, which is sulfur dioxide. A lot of emissions coming out of Mexico right now. Popocatépetl, big volcano there, has been very active this last week as well, all through Guatemala and northern Colombia. We've got about 12 active and erupting volcanoes through that region. As well across the Aleutian Islands, we're seeing a lot of SO2 coming out of Alaska and through Anchorage. Have a look here over Southeast Asia, Africa, and through Indonesia. Pretty big SO2 plume coming out of Aoba volcano, New Caledonia. Then overlooking Europe, Iceland has been pretty quiet as of late, but still lots of SO2 lingering and swirling all around the northern hemisphere right now. Now let's get to weather, brought to you by windy.com. Big low moving into Europe this week, heading mostly northward, but then a watch midweek as another low pressure system moves in, and then multiple lows spinning around the North Atlantic will eventually join forces here and send a whipping of a storm towards Spain. And then cold front slips into parts of Eastern Europe, overlooking North Pacific and North America. Multiple lows affecting the northern hemisphere right now. But the roller coaster event of temperatures is pretty much going to tell whether or not you get snow or rain. But there's definitely moisture in the forecast here. Atmospheric river moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, Same thing is happening in the West Pacific right now. Long range forecast, some very big lows developing. Overlooking Australia. India, watch for extreme weather event as a low pressure system moves through, as well Madagascar and Northern Territory of Australia. Long range, watch for a pretty strong system to come out of China and affect South Korea. Long range forecast could see a couple cyclones here swirling around parts of South Africa and Madagascar. Swing back here a couple days. This is going into February 7th. So much love, everybody. Stay aware and prepared. Stay young and have fun. And get your daily due. Bye-bye now. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the world.